disgust, anger, frustration, upset feelings, terribleness. Let's talk about who's to blame the most for the Mavs losing 5 of their last 6 games, because it's not going well. Today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm Luka Doncic, and this is Locked On Mavericks podcast.
Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions. Bang! Bang! It's good! And the Mavericks have won the game!
If you don't believe, you shouldn't be here.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Engstead, media member and NBA channel manager for the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for being part of the show and making Locked On Mavs your first listen today, where the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, leave a 5-star review, like the video, comment below. Don't take it out on the show. Like the video. Let me know in the comment section who or what deserves the most blame for the Mavs losing 5 of the last 6 games. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can't see me, because I'm not here, because I don't believe anymore. I don't believe I shouldn't be here, so I am off screen.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
I just can't anymore with this team.
What's up,
I cannot
Scotty?
believe that we're in this position where they won 7 in a row.
Hope you're doing well.
They had made the trades.
Good
We were
morning.
feeling good about where the team was, and now I can't believe that. You know what I can't believe the most? By the way, slightly biased joining me on the show. You know what I can't believe the most? I had 4 or 5 people come up to me after the show, or after the game, Raccoon Squad members, people that listen to this show, that listen all the time, some of you, that said, man, I feel so bad for you. Good luck on the show tonight. Like I was about to go do something. Like something had just happened to me. As if I was the one that was like, oh man, just so brutal for you to have. Like, this Mavericks team has transcended basketball and is now infecting our lives as a thing that is tearing us down. We don't have a BetterHelp ad today, but it's betterhelp.com/LockedOnNBA if you need it, because man, I certainly do after a loss like that. Just how badly they lost to the Pacers. We'll talk about why they lost to the Pacers, but slightly, it's more about like that they lost to the Pacers and now it's 5 of 6. I mean, you can see the red anger in my face.
I mean, if you're a fan, right, your go-to feeling has to be, well, why do I care? They don't look like they do. Like that is just the harsh truth. And that's a harsh thing to say. And since, I've come on here and, I've grown a little bit, I've tried to steer clear of that, because I know that that's a lofty thing to say, that they don't care, they're not trying. But I got to ask, like, top to bottom, where is the fire coming from in this team?
Yeah.
Where is it? Who's making people answer for this stuff? Who is it? Because I'm left wondering. I know the coaches aren't doing it. That's the whole entire reason you went and got Kidd and this coaching staff, was you wanted a more player-friendly coach. The Rick Carlisle was butting heads too much with the young guys. Whatever. That's how the NBA is trending. So I don't think it's coming from the coaching staff. They're just going to go post-game and be like, yeah, they're soft. And then the players are going to be like, yeah, well, I guess that's his opinion if they called us soft. Like, that's literally almost a verbatim press conference we had from earlier in the season. So it's not coming from the coaching staff. Where is it coming from? Are there players? The Kings had a player-only meeting a couple nights ago. Will this team ever have a player-only meeting? I don't get that vibe from them at all.
They have a player-only meeting after every game. It's just Dwight Powell sitting in the corner just going over the minutes that he took from the previous meeting.
They have their leadership council. Is that still a thing?
This is a culture
Someone go
loss.
Anakin on the council.
This is Jesus. Leave the kids alone, though. Leave the younglings. This is a culture loss. This is where you look at a team and say they have taken the identity and they've taken the personality of their head coach and they've applied it to how they play right now. And this is how all of a sudden the defense is just not giving enough effort. There's no fight back. What is it? Where is this team now when they desperately, their backs are against the wall? They needed a win like this. They're a half game ahead of the Lakers for 9th right now. That whole cushion is gone. Completely gone. And the Lakers and Warriors are playing really good basketball, and this team's going to go in 9th or 10th, and they should be happy and like thanking their lucky stars that the Jazz sold at the deadline, because they're 5.5 games ahead of them, which is like, it was 7 like 2 nights ago. Yeah. So that's not even out of the question anymore. If this team doesn't make the play-in even completely somehow, I mean, heads have to, you have to make full sale. Like it's coaching staff has to be completely gone. I mean, that was, I did a mailbag yesterday. Someone asked, how would Kid have, like, what would have to happen for Kid to be fired? I said they'd have to miss the entire play-in again. Because I think even if they are 9-10 in the play-in and they lose the first game, there's enough, well, you know, there's injuries and we had this and this problem. And I don't buy any of that.
I disagree.
But I think they would call, if they lose the first game in the play-in, I think they would take all those excuses, hand them up, yeah, this is what it was, and so we're just going to keep Kid because we believe in him and all that. The problem is, I don't know that the team does anymore.
I think Kid's gone unless there's a deep playoff run, because people will demand heads will roll and there will be like too much of a public outcry.
Well,
and if I'm Cuban,
people will demand who? The only people that could demand something to happen is Luka and Kyrie.
I mean, let's be real though. Cuban is a chronically online human being. Like he knows.
So is Kid.
Well, I hope not. Just for his well-being.
Kid referenced one of my tweets in a press conference.
Well,
hey, chronically online person. You have to be really online.
I know
to
Luka's
find one of
online.
my tweets.
I know Luka's online.
He's blocked slightly biased, and slightly biased his shirt that says unblocked slightly on it.
But no, listen, Cuban, if you for some reason listening to this, you have, I mean, at some point, somebody within the organization has to go to the team, to the coaching staff and say, listen, guys, I'm just be as blunt as possible. If you guys don't right this ship, if you guys don't go on a deep playoff run, we have to cut ties. We just have to. Last year was really pushing the boundaries, okay? And we stuck with you. We kept it. We kept you around. All right, we traded for Kyrie halfway through the season. If this season does not end, if this season ends in disaster or disappointment, heads have to roll, and they have to understand that. Pull your head out of your ass. I mean, enough of this just moping around. Enough. The super long leash for Tim Hardaway Jr. What are we still doing at this point with that?
No, they only played him like 13 minutes tonight, so.
I'm like, how does Hardy have 0 minutes? Like, there's still rotational stuff that I don't understand.
The rotation. I'm not even taking the rotation thing as a problem anymore. Because I think Kid played the guys that were supposed to play and the ones that weren't supposed to, right? He played Gafford extended minutes because Gafford was the only one giving them the spark that you mentioned earlier. He didn't play. He played Tim Hardaway Jr. under 13 minutes, so I think that's fine. Like he hit 2 threes. That's all you expect from him. He played Maxey 15 minutes. Like I think that he played the right guys the right amount of minutes. I'm not even calling this a rotation loss. This is a culture loss because where you lost was the defense was completely lost the whole game. The speed of the Pacers just completely overwhelmed them, and they couldn't follow. And their defense already plays from behind anyway. They have to play. How many times have you and I sat on here after losses and gone, man, they were just playing catch up all night on defense, and they were doing it again today. But the speed of the Pacers was just too much for them. 9 out of 10 Pacers scored in double digits. Like that is covered the ears of the little children in the car that are listening to this. That is a booty whooping, like a team butt whooping from the Pacers. And Rick Carlisle just completely out-coaching Jason Kidd. And they had enough talent to win this game. If it keeps happening like this, remember the episode I had months ago? I said it was about 30 or so games in the season, and I go, man, there's been about 5 losses that have just been completely on coaching because you had the talent, you had the rest, you had the players and stuff, and then you just couldn't get it, and you just couldn't get the win. I think this is one of those. And the Pacers are a very good team, like great for the Pacers, but it's the way they looked and how thoroughly they got beaten in a game like this, where you go, all right, another coaching loss.
Well, this is just like where the buddy stuff has to end. I mean, at a certain point, you have to be the coach. And I don't know if the coaching staff is doing this, but it doesn't feel like it. Because they make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over. The same guys who make the same mistakes over and over and over go out again and again and again and again and again and get an extended run and get these incredibly long leashes. Where's the accountability at? There's none. There's no accountability. There's no changing. There's no actual incentive. You know, I just hate to say it like this because I don't want to like call out the players and they're all uber competitors. They all tried their hardest to win. I know that. I understand that. But I mean, I watched teams out-hustle them. I watched them lack the energy and the effort on defense. This is now a prolonged stretch in a very vital part of the season, man. This isn't November or December where we can say, hey, they're still trying to get their legs under them. It's kind of understandable. This is like must-win territory, man. Unless they have come to a conclusion as a group that like, hey, we're kind of cool with just like being healthy going into the playing tournament. That's okay. And if that's the reality, get that loser mentality out here. I don't believe that that's true. Man, it's hard to watch because have we? I'm stat nerds. I would love to know. Has there ever been a stretch where a team was for a 7-game stretch the best defense in the NBA, and then an immediate 7-game stretch afterwards the worst. Because that's exactly what has happened.
That has to be like the Warriors probably did that at some point during their run, right? Like, but they probably won a bunch of those games. They probably won
I guarantee you it's never happened.
Probably never happened. That's insane stat. And coming up, we'll tell you why. We'll tell you why this is on coaching, and I'll tell you why kids get confused. Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. eBay Motors has you covered with all kinds of parts for your car. Passion, drive, and patience brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. With over 122 million parts to choose from, you know that they'll have exactly what you need because they have the eBay Guaranteed Fit for your car. You know your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back because with eBay Motors, you're going to burn rubber and not cash. All the parts you need at the price you want. Return your car to MVP and keep that and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Oh,
Base is under attack.
disgusting. Disgusting. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us on Locked On Maps. If you're listening today, you're a real Raccoon Squad member. you're a real part of it. You're a real part of this group. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out, watching the show, guys. Go check out the subtext, subscribe. I will do something on that. I did that yesterday. You get text straight to your phone. I appreciate it. Game tonight. All right, guys. It's time. They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna remove Kid right now. I don't even know if they should do it in the middle of the season like this, but at the end of the season, because in a stretch like this, where your backs are against the wall, you need wins like this, your time is turned up. They had turned the corner, they had the 7-game win streak, and you go on a run like this, where you just look completely overmatched and completely uninterested. You've taken on the mentality and the personality that your coach puts in, and I think it's a different voice that you need to do. And hey, I know, Luka and Kyrie like Jason Kidd, and maybe it's more tenuous than we think. He's holding things together more than we think that he is. And if they replace him, then maybe Kyrie, something happens. Luka, something happens. Who knows? If there's more behind the scenes, there always is more behind the scenes than we know. But basketball-wise, just looking at this team,
What's up, Bingo?
Getting any kind
Yeah,
of
Mavs are trash, man. I don't know what to say.
It's roll out the ball.
They were playing so well, now they're just so bad.
Play the same defense that they've been playing. And I'll give Kid some credit. He tried some zone in this game. The problem is they've been so terrible at zone all season that it didn't do them any good in a game like this. And you don't play zone against a team that can shoot this well either. It's like you're trying to overcome so many different things. And like, it's just time, man. It's just time because another loss like this is just another loss where there wasn't fight. And I think it's on the coaching staff. I mean, like, Kyrie loves Kid. They love winning more.
That's what I was about to say. Winning cures all. So if Luka and Kyrie would rather have Kid around and they're still toiling around the playing tournament versus trying to go get another coach and really try to win basketball games. Guys, believe it or not, there's a stretch in time where this team during the 2000s and their playoff disappointments from here and there, they won 50 games every single year. Like it was stamped in. You just knew it. You knew they were going to make the playoffs. You knew they were going to have home court. You knew they were going to have 50 wins. This is like excruciating, and as a fan, it was really sad to watch. But yeah, they're not firing Kid right now. Like I've tried to make that point, and people have gotten mad at me. They're just not going to do it. Like it's 22 of the season, unless something crazy happened off the floor or something. Knock on glass, something crazy happens. But
Did you say knock on glass?
Yeah, we've already done this before. Knock on glass.
Knock on
but where was I going? I'm just my brain is just.
They're not gonna remove Kid.
Oh yeah, and look, they've kind of lost their. If they want to play from the coach, you just kind of let it go out there and do it. You guys have lost this season. Continues the way that it's going after this last 7 games or so, and you're in the playing tournament, and God forbid you don't make it out of it, you've lost that privilege. This is a team that hasn't been able to self-start. Like they just haven't. They talk about it all the time in the post-game pressers. We need to come out with more energy. We need to play the full 4 games. We need to try harder on defense.
We can't get so upset when we don't
Yeah.
get calls. Like
Exactly. And it's like, okay, well, and I get this, you know, you want to blame Kid for it, and at a certain point, the coaching staff, yeah, you have to step in and say to do it, but at another point, it's like, just do it, guys. You know what it is, and the things you're talking about are just mental things that you can change. It's not, you know, skill things like developing a three-point shot. Like, oh, I don't know how to shoot, but I'm trying my hardest to learn how to shoot. Like, that's a different problem entirely. When it's effort, showing up to games, starting games strong, not having mental lapses where you zone out for 3 to 4 minutes, and next thing you know, a 20-6 run has happened, and now you're down by 14 points and crawling your way out of that hole the entire game. You know, you're yelling at refs, you're not getting back on defense. And this is like, I think people confuse whenever I say yelling at refs. It's like me only singling out Luka. No, he's not the only person on the roster. It's a problem that several people have.
he got into Josh Green so much, he got that flagrant foul on Neesmith. That was just a boneheaded play. Stupid.
Research
Yeah.
complete.
Just running into him. That was just a ridiculous thing. I'm with you, and I think that to go back to your point about, well, he's the player's coach. Okay, well, how has the player not gotten better at that?
Yeah, the
Things
Mavs
that
are
are
just
holding you back, in a way.
should be
You
good,
ain't
but they're
the
just not.
There's
So
been
it's
no-
weird.
there's been some movement on it this year. He's gotten better conditioning classes. That's because he's hired his own team. Like it feels like taking a class online, right?
They should be
They're
good.
taking a class online. They're doing their discussion boards. They're going and filling it
They're
out,
not.
and like maybe they're reading the notes, but then they're just rolling the ball out in the test, and you're like, what did I learn? I don't really know. I remember.
Yeah,
seeing
Philly
some
beat
things.
them.
I slightly
Dude, the
remember
Cavs game was awful.
some game plan things, but then wow, we're just gonna roll it out and run some pick and
Shitty
roll,
Mavs court
some
concussed
bubble
Maxi.
trap,
Oh, I didn't hear
put
about
some
that.
handoffs here
He
and
got a
there,
concussion?
go chuck up some shots, and then we're just gonna run around on defense and try to like be in the right spot. And I'm just gonna get lost again.
I mean, is Kid's defensive scheme that complex? Are we talking like some Brea dude?
Mild
never heard
concussion.
before defensive
Brutal.
Scheme that, like,
I didn't hear about
has
that.
defensive coverages that are out of a Disney Channel movie, like they have.
Oh, they still won the game, so
Specific play names like do the Zamboni.
can still beat the Mavs even with a concussion. Tells you how good they are.
It's hard when that is the number one thing. But then also, shouldn't they be given the effort? And he's like, Kid said last game, there's certain guys.
Slipped on the
we
court
want
and
to
banged his
take
head on
effort 100%
Derek-
of the time. They
Derek
can't
Jones
take plays
Jr.'s
off. I
shin.
get that. Who's teaching them that? You know, like at
Was it Derek Jones Jr.'s shin or a different Jones?
At some point, if everyone in the class fails, then it's on the
Brutal.
team,
I
right?
didn't. I guess I didn't see that play.
This Mavs team is taking an online course.
But at another point, it's an online course. You know exactly what you signed up for. You got to get.
Yeah,
on there and
I'm
do
sure it
your-
was.
You got to get on there and do your discussion board.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
So I like if the problem really is effort and it's consistent effort. You know, it's one blame the coach. Yes, the coaching staff has to get most out of it. Man, at a certain point, the players just have to do it. If we're talking effort, like just do it. It's easier said than done. I understand, but
We're talking about two different things. You're talking about this season right now. This season is what it is. They've got to put the effort in. They've got to do what the scheme is. They're not going to remove Kid as much as I would want them right now. Like they're not going to do that. I'm talking about the future. I'm talking about.
I'm out on Kid. For people who think that I'm a Kid defender, I am out on him. He is not making it past this season unless there is a miraculous deep postseason run. He is not making it past this season.
Which would be so Mavericks for them to do. Like, hey, 2 of the 3 seasons we went on a deep postseason run.
I mean, hey, I'm here for it. I don't care.
I mean, I am too. I would sit here and celebrate, but I think they would also win, in spite of Kid.
Yeah, the Mavs have just tanked the last like 6
outcoached
games
all
or
these
something.
games. I had.
I mean, they had one couple games that were close at least, but
conference, and we got to like 12 before I even like.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's not good. And everyone, you know, the build for the playoff excuse is, guys, you have to make it. I don't know if everyone's aware. I don't know if they're aware. You gotta win the games first. You don't just walk into it.
Coming up, let's talk about what actually happened in this Pacers game. How did the Mavs lose this one? What can they do and change going forward? Let's talk about that coming up. /LockedOn NB, especially against such speed from the Pacers. 137 to 120. That's 137 points. That's absolutely insane. Their offense also couldn't keep up, which I think is another underlying issue, that the offense is held together with Luka, Kyrie, and duct tape, basically. But yeah, I thought the speed was one of the first things, and they kept helping off of Miles Turner in the first half. They how many times are you going to help off of Miles Turner? Your zone is like, yeah, okay, you're running a zone, and yes, the Pacers run a ton of different screens and all that kind of stuff, but why are we still helping off
Actually
Miles
have the
Turner?
Tiger. Maybe.
There's not really
I mean, he had like 39 points and a triple-double again last night.
Just felt like they were trying to do the same thing they did last summer.
Yeah, I mean, that was
Can only do so much.
Their strategy last time was...
He was taking some bad shots, though. He was like 15 of 30. Just not very good.
Numbers, and he was shooting like 30-something% from three over his last few games.
Yeah, he's very mentally...
So their strategy, and looking back on it, this is what happened during their 7-game winning streak. They got
like out of it sometimes, and like
these 7 teams all had
the complaining to the refs and stuff just like doesn't help him at all, because he just like I feel like he gets less calls because he does that, not more.
But yeah, these teams like the Pacers with Miles Turner make that a nightmare because they just can't rotate. They're not good at it. They're not built to do it. They don't have the defenders to do it, and yet they continuously try to do it, and they try to do it yet again. And hey, to Indiana's credit, man, they were lights out tonight. Like they were making every single shot, pretty much.
Yeah, it's weird how.
The tough ones that they did have that were.
I mean, he's been like that for years. He always does that.
Great seconds of defense,
and it just never works for him.
A heck of a shot, and you just have to tip your cap. Yeah, like
I can just see that corner three just going in over and over and over again.
Ben Shepherd.
Oh my gosh.
More like
I had scouts sit next to me. Was like, I didn't know Ben Shepherd was on the Pacers.
A scout said that?
No.
The Dallas Mavericks scout?
He's like, oh Ben Shepherd.
That's the Dallas Mavericks scout right there. Oh, wait.
So
this Pacers roster I have is from 2018.
Where's Sabonis? Is Sabonis not on this team anymore?
He must be hurt.
Yeah. I think he did that the previous season too, like 2 seasons ago.
And past seasons of the Mavericks defense, or let me just
then
say,
just comes back and does the exact same thing.
It's not that Dorian Finney-Smith was such a good defender and Reggie Bullock was such a good defender. It's I think because offense has exploded this season that this kind of a defense can't keep up with offenses. And you saw it in a game like this. Like this was the pinnacle, best example you can give of offense is cracked. Completely broken and insane this season. The top 10 defense is 114 points per 100 possessions. That's a top 10 defense this season. The Mavs' #1 offense that was the #1 offense in league history like 3 or 4 years ago, 116 points per 100 possessions. That was the #1 of all time, and now 114 is the top 10 defense. That's insane. That's insane to me. And so offense is cracked, and so you just can't keep up that same way. And I think it's...
I mean, he does say some really... Like, they do not call some stuff that are, like, crazy. But then there's other stuff he complains about where it's like, dude, that was obviously... You didn't get fouled, or you did foul, or whatever. Just, like, chill. And he'll still complain.
So different than Luka, Brunson, Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, and, like, Maxey. How is that so completely different? And I think it's just because of where the NBA is going right now.
Well, part of the reason there's a huge scoring explosion, I've seen some people say it, but it's never the main reason people say, is pretty much every single role player in the NBA now.
Yeah, like when it's really
Those
blatant.
guys like really don't exist
no call
in
or something
capacity anymore, especially on a team like the Pacers. Like well, even
yeah.
Ed, like he'll hit some threes from time to time. Like
yeah, it's just like every single play for him.
There's no Robersons in the NBA anymore. There are no like complete zeros offensively, and then you have Josh Giddey, who's a debatable player, but outside of that though,
it's a negative.
Yeah, outside of that though, you know, you have to account for pretty much everybody on the floor, especially a team like the Pacers. And yeah, when you play this style of defense where we're going to help off and we're going to rotate, I mean, there was a play where Maxey is in a strong corner, one pass away, the ball's on the wing, and Maxey,
yeah, but
like,
Embiid gets the calls, man. He was like averaging like so many free throws a game.
One pass away in the corner, and
before
it
he got hurt.
Wide open. I think it was a Nembhard 3. I don't remember who exactly shot the 3, but it's just like how is that like schematically? How is that the shot that we're comfortable giving up there instead of just like, hey, maybe
what was his free throw?
Turner
I
catches
think
the ball
wasn't he like the highest free throw?
Like, why are we helping off before a pass is even thrown and giving up a wide open 3 in the strong side corner? It's shocking.
It's frustrating.
That's schematic. That's a schematic thing because Maxey's a smart defender and a good defender. I don't think he just does that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to sit down with one of the Mavs coaches and go through the defense and be like, is this what was supposed to happen or is this a mess up? Because I can't tell the difference anymore.
So free throws, he was averaging.
Like when Kyrie looks lost, I know Kyrie doesn't have a reputation for a good defender, but he's a smart player who's been in the league for a very long time.
Almost 12 a game.
How is he like so lost sometimes? How is Luka lost
Yeah.
sometimes? How are some of these guys so clueless on where to be? Like, is the scheme that complicated?
Yeah, he's having. I mean, yeah, he's like 35
if it is,
points
what are we
a game.
doing? We don't have the personnel for that.
It says
do not have the
34 here, but I thought he was
personnel
averaging 35. Oh, that's minutes. Yeah, 35 points, 3 points.
That's
I mean, Luka's at 34
let's do
something.
one positive. I'll give one positive. Oh, actually,
But
let me
yeah,
do one more
12
bad
free
thing.
throws a game for Embiid.
I think this was one of the
Luka.
first games I've seen where I think Luka's chucking affected the rest of the team.
Yeah, I agree with that
Luka
too.
took 30
Luka sometimes
shots,
just like chucks shots.
He
It's
took
like,
a
what are you
25
doing?
or something pretty.
He loves to
pretty
step
early,
back,
like,
and when it's hitting, it's good.
I saw
but
several plays where Luka looked off a
34.6
Maxey or
points.
Josh or PJ or somebody, and I thought
And he
that
only
affected the team on
averages
offense. And then
9
the
free
offense
throws
falls
a game.
apart in the third quarter,
So you're
and I
telling
think
me
that it has something to do with it.
Embiid,
You look at the difference between a Luka and a Jokic.
like with how he
Luka puts everyone else
plays,
first, and then he
should
eats
get
eventually. And Luka, I've been one of the biggest defenders of
3
your
more
number one play and your
free throws a
most
game
effective play is
when like Luka
isolation.
like
But
is
I think
driving
sometimes
like
it
half
does
the
hurt
time.
you. And I think this is one of those games when it did.
But I think this
I don't know
team is
about
very
that.
vulnerable to snowball effects. And I think
Yes.
one of those snowball effects is Luka saying, hey, I'm the superstar, I'm the megastar, I have to pull us out of the mud, and it's not necessarily fair to him.
And
I thought
he's not
Kyrie
wrong.
was
rip
pretty
throughs.
much
I mean,
nowhere to be
Luka
found
goes for that
tonight
play all
again,
the time too.
and
Yeah,
just wasn't
it's like the
23
KD
points on
thing.
16 shots.
and some of those were like late threes when we started the fourth quarter when the game already felt completely and totally out of reach. And it kind of goes like when the things are going bad for the Mavericks, they need
But,
like have good first quarter, second quarter.
Yeah, I mean he is
So we can go to
he is
halftime
playing
with a
against
lead
a
or not down by
like
8
a
and constantly digging
center
for
or
holes.
something
In a game
rather
like
than a
tonight, when the
guard
defense
playing
was
against him.
rough,
So.
a 4-point lead felt insurmountable. Like no joke, a 2-possession lead actually felt insurmountable. Like you were not going to generate the stop.
Oh yeah, there's a build I'm gonna try.
I was gonna say I get where you're coming from with Luka because he did chunk a lot tonight, but you know I'll throw him some bail in the sense that like in a game like tonight where your defense is obviously going to be terrible and it's going to be one of these 140 to 143 point games. That's how we're supposed to win. I could see where Luka's like I have to pull us out the mud tonight.
Oh, I get it, and he does. You know, I just thought that the decision he made to do that affected the rest of the team. And so then in the third quarter, when you needed them, they vanished.
But as for the snowball effect comes,
Right.
like all of these things happen.
Here's the one positive. I thought PJ Washington played really well. Out of everyone, he played really well. 20 points, he hit 4 of his 8 threes. He was hitting his above the break threes, like you mentioned, 8 threes, not the corner one I mentioned before. 7 boards for him, 3 assists. And Pascal Siakam was kind of like a non-factor for most of the game. I thought it was because of PJ. I thought he had a really good game. That's like my one bright spot.
Like Gafford played good off the bench too. I liked his.
Yeah.
I will say I loved his energy. I just like there was someone in the chat was like, man, he's pumping his chest down 15. I'm like, hell yeah, somebody has to do it. Like this team lacks that. It really desperately lacks that energy and somebody to get them hype and going during times like these where it doesn't feel like authentic, like fake. You know what I mean? Because there are times where it can feel fake.
This Mavs crowd was love it. Like they were really into him getting those offensive rebounds, like getting those boards and like fighting for a rebound. And even if he didn't get the board, but he fought for it a couple times, they were like cheering for it. I was like, man, this crowd just doesn't remember what rebounding is. Like the defenders are not used to it.
We want rebounding and we want defense. If you're gonna come and do those things, we will like you. And we will like you and we will root
Brian
for you.
Cardinal, still a legend.
This is why Frank Ntilikina had some supporters for longer than he probably should have.
Oh, people forget.
People do forget. Honestly, Frank plugged him into this lineup. I mean, we need some point of attack defense.
People left this game with 5 minutes to go.
I would have left this game in a second. Getting escorted out. You'd have had to drag me out of that stadium for the stuff I was saying.
We didn't really. There was one guy at the end of the game sitting like in a section over there that was just screaming, "Fire!" No one was joining him.
I think I might know who that is.
Is he that guy that got ejected from the last year?
I don't know, but there's a guy on Twitter who's making a hard push. And then he got mad at me because I was like, hey, they're not going to do it this year. But I'm not. They're not going to.
They're not. I'll tell him.
Yeah, they're not doing it in the next month or two.
He can slightly block me. They're not going to.
I'm blocked by me.
There you go. Oh my tomorrow, me and Dana Larson will be back. We'll talk about this team and the problems. Last time we talked about Dana, we were so optimistic. We were like, this is why the Mavs are in the standings. And now what shall we do? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs.
Research
Peace out.
complete.
Boom!
This is like a build I've never done before, so just kind of. Wait, I built 5. I know, 4.
Research complete.
They're so bad.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Mineral field. Your warriors have engaged. Mineral field. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Upgrade complete.
move.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Can I please stop losing my freaking ops?
Your
48 SCVs? Dude, what? I mean, what happened there? I don't even know. It was bad. Dude, what is up with players like this? He just like leaves random games. No, I didn't watch any ASL casts. as like a proxy. What's up, Legoland? You must have the same birthday. Barry Pog.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Real Phoenix. That's not. I accidentally canceled my Nexus. There's like some screen. Did you see that screen that popped up on my screen? What the fuck was that? Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Sleeve is the worst players. Very cool. So if they go double stalker, should probably go Phoenix.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Gotta be the Ada Deft build since he hasn't moved out yet, right? Only I can think of, yeah. It is.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
How did he go freaking? Phoenixes as well. That's so crazy.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Oh gosh, why am I not?
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Mineral field.
Why are those over there? Man, I'm just not playing one.